Today I learned that when you snap your fingers, the noise is made when your finger slaps your palm, not when the fingers flick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No. Wow. I always thought it was from the fingers.
It is the fingers.
No, it's not.
Watch. No, it still makes the. Yeah, it's from this finger hitting there.
Yeah.
You're making the sound because it's hitting your finger.
The sound changes when you put your fingers there.
There you go.
That's
There
what
you
she
go.
Interesting. All right.
Well, you know what else we're going to learn today?
What else are we going to learn about?
We're
If
gonna
you're
learn-
an asshole.
We're going to find that out. Not me specifically.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey, give them a heads up first. Don't just come out swinging with them words.
No.
You got to let them know.
You just got to come big dick swinging.
Hey, parental advisory. Right in the face.
Hey,
Zach just took this to an 11.
Right in the face.
hey, remember your ring. Catholics totally roll.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Oh.
Well, today we had so much fun last time trying to figure out if these wonderfully strange people from the internet are in fact a-holes or not. We decided to do it again. And did we get any stories from the last one?
We did.
We got one.
We got one from the last one. We're gonna be finding out if you, friend, are an a-hole or not.
An a-hole, or what would the opposite of an a-hole be? A b-hole.
The mouth? Oh,
A pee hole.
well, I mean the opposite of the butthole is the one, the intake valve.
Right? That's the way I took it.
Right? Okay.
I meant like the opposite of not being the jerk.
I have a
A
cousin.
b-hole? Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're
yeah.
saying.
So...
A good hole?
A z-hole.
We'll think on it. We'll think on it.
We'll figure it out.
Patent pending.
A good
We'll
Samaritan.
find a reward.
What is going
A
on?
good.
So how-
how could you mix an ass with a word? Ass-a-tarian.
It goes with a lot of words. We all know that.
It's true. We talked about this earlier.
Yeah.
Now let's
Assets.
start with the fan one. Do you want to
Okey-dokey.
read
Oh,
that
we're just
for
gonna go
us?
right into it?
I say let's get right into it. They put in the comment. They deserve to hear it.
I mean,
right away.
not that we need to do it by now, but do we need to introduce ourselves or anything?
I mean, they should know who we are. If
Okay.
they don't, they can go to a previous podcast
all right. That works.
and find out.
That works.
Our very first one, we go into a deep dive about each of us.
That's
We should
true.
redo
Each one
it.
of us.
It's awful.
Tells you everything you need to know.
Have you listened to it recently?
I started to be honest, I couldn't get through it.
We
Wait,
should redo
awful
it.
as in like sound, video
Just-
quality, or
yeah.
just content?
All of it because
were very
sound.
rusty.
We talk over each other now, but that was even worse.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Oh, we've improved.
It's yeah.
that was
So,
our.
It's taken 2 years, but
I think
we're there.
I think Austin's right though. I think it'd be fun to kind of revisit some of our semi-older ones.
That was our
Redos.
That was our roast
Yeah.
one as well,
Ah, yes.
where you guys
And we
roasted
could've-
me like half the time.
Redemption.
You asked for it.
I did not.
You
We
literally
couldn't
asked
roast
for it.
anybody, and then Chris comes out with a zinger for Cam though.
He's got him.
Yeah.
He's just sitting in his bed, in his little quiver, ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. So this comes.
Hold on.
Go for it.
I wouldn't feel bad if everybody would do them back. And then when you're the only one being the asshole.
Hey, I said it one last night that I was proud of.
What?
When we had our side conversation, you said asshat. I totally forgot about the word. That's
Oh, yeah.
hilarious. I said, that's what I refer to myself as. And he's like, well, I just refer to myself as a dumbass. And then somewhere further along the conversation, I said,
No, it was right after you said you are a dumbass.
I was like, well, that's because
I
you
was
are a
like-
dumbass.
And then I said only circumstantial, but I'm in a lot of circumstances.
And I said, sounds coincidental. Anyway,
I like it. But yes, welcome back to the podcast. Here are my a-hole friends. Zach, Tony, Austin, Chris, and myself.
A whole lot.
hey-ho.
Let's get on with the show. Take it away.
Okie dokie.
I like banter.
Should we reveal a name or should we keep it anonymous?
No, I say a real name.
Anonymous?
I mean,
No.
technically, we did warn them that if they leave us an AITA in the comments, that we weren't going to hold back.
And it's in the comments, so anyone can look it up.
True story.
It's true.
All right.
So with that being said, this is, and I apologize if I say it wrong, Ratsert
83.
Ratsert 83.
Rats in real time. IRT.
Rat
There you go with those
Oh, that was fast. That came up that
acronyms.
fast.
acronyms.
The first 82 were taken.
Okay. Says, I have a coworker that repeatedly failed to make her car payments on time and had her vehicle repoed twice. I was nice and gave her and her grown adult mid-20s son rides to and from work for months. I work in a warehouse where we process items to ship to America's Hat. I don't know.
Canada. Got it.
Oh,
America's
there it
hat.
is. Yeah, thank you. One day, her son was on our side of the building processing when I glanced over and saw him with his hand down the back of his underwear, and then he looked at his hand to see if anything was on it. I was gagging at this point.
Did he smell it?
It doesn't say.
That would have been better story.
I had heard stories
smell
of.
it.
He had to.
You got to smell it at that point.
Sorry.
Sorry, go on. Sorry. I wouldn't say I personally would. I'm just saying you gotta.
We know.
You gotta.
We know how you.
Are you positive, Zach?
I don't. I don't smell that part.
Time for a shower.
Oh my god!
Never comes out of the fingernail ever.
Oh my
Marinates in
Sorry, cut it
there.
off. Probably bites it off.
Oh my god!
And that, folks, is where pinworms come from.
Ew.
Oh my
Holy
gosh!
cow, this is going everywhere I thought it wouldn't.
Continue.
Go on.
Okay. I had heard stories of his bathroom etiquette from males at work, but gave him the benefit of the doubt until I saw it for myself. Back to the specific day, after checking his hand, he proceeded to touch the keyboard, mouse, scanner, everything on the station, including customer items. I went ahead and took them home that day and disinfected anything he would have touched. When I got home, I texted my friends saying I was sorry and explained what led up to it. I was immediately hit with a, don't worry about it, we have a ride. And was blocked. However, she and her son didn't even make it to work the next day, but the second day she was so cold and had no problems talking to anyone that would listen, and I could tell it was about me because the people she was talking to would glance at me. I have still managed to keep my composure and not share my side. I can only imagine for her to act that way, that she assumes what he did was acceptable, and she raised him like that. She's extremely country. I'm not one to be a germaphobe. I ate a gummy bear off the pavement after I dropped it, LOL.
Congratulations.
10-second rule.
You're human.
Yeah.
But if it has to do with sanitary conditions, it's a problem. So am I the asshole for making the situation known to her and leaving them without a ride?
No.
No, that's pretty gross.
Yep.
That is pretty gross. I mean, especially post-COVID, like, even myself, who's never really been that much of a germaphobe, post-COVID, I'm a little bit more aware of those things.
Yep.
And more cautious of it than I was before. But I mean, it's not like if the kid picked his nose, who cares? But picking your butt in public, no, bro, you ain't touching. Because you know that kid probably did not wash his hands after
Listen.
all day.
Just take the time, do one more preliminary wipe. You'll be all right.
Get up a day,
There you go.
Bidet all the way.
all the way.
It's even to the point, like the other day, I forgot to put on deodorant. Just got going in the morning. I was late into work and stuff. And by the time I realized I was on my way back to the warehouse, and I was like, God, I smelled like funky. And I realized I didn't put deodorant on. And for the rest of the day until I could get home, I literally was like, no one come around me. Don't come near me. I don't want you to smell. I was just like kind of
superstar thing.
Yeah, I did. The superstar. Like, I just was like, don't. Like, I felt so awkward. Like
fresh cut onions.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? That
Smells like Subway to me.
Yeah. And so I don't know. Like, I just it's in that same situation. Like, I don't know how that kid can live with himself. Number one.
well,
But-
ignorance is bliss,
No, it's
right?
number 2.
There you go. There you go. But I mean, honestly, if someone were to come up to me and be like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I can't give you a ride home today. You stink," I'd be like, "Fair enough. I get it."
Understand.
And that's so different though. Like this kid is rubbing his hands
I
all up on
know.
your door handle. He's grabbing the inside of the door handle. He's grabbing your seat belt. He's putting his hand, who knows, grabbing your old crap bar that's now an actual crap bar. like no, dude, no.
Yep.
There you
No.
go, rats or
What
rats
about,
IRL or whatever.
What about like just kind of, hey, before you get in the car, let's take a couple squirts of some hand sanitizer.
I
Like,
would.
just-
You would have to bathe his.
Well, then it's just poo
Large
with hand
tub.
sanitizer on it.
Yeah.
put it to the test. It says it kills 99.9% of germs.
Yeah, but not
He
shit.
puffs. He just explodes.
His hand dissolves.
It just eats him away because he's just all germ. He's 0.01% of him left.
That's terrible.
I would say, I from the sounds of it, she tried to do it as politely as possible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so for that, I say you're not.
Yeah, I don't think you're at all. Especially, it sounds like you probably came from like a loving place where you probably tried to tell her in secrecy, like, hey, you know.
Yeah, where it said like she's kept her composure and hasn't shared her side of the story. She could have gone blabbing it out like, well, the reason I'm not giving him rides is because he's got poop under his fingernails now. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah,
It's the same situation as someone if you saw somebody in their pants and then tried shaking your hand. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
It's the same situation.
It's like on what's that? Martin
Street.
Lawrence.
Nothing
Yeah,
to
Blue
lose.
Streak.
Oh, it is Blue Streak.
Yeah, where he has it's like a cream or
it's
whatever.
like a rash cream.
And he rubs it. He puts it in his pants and he rubs it all over his wiener and nuts and everything. And then he doesn't wash his hands afterwards. And then he
He goes
sees it
to
all
beat
through the
him.
vent and he goes to shake his hand. And Martin Lawrence looks at it and goes, "Ugh," shakes his hand. And then
No,
then to give him like instead of giving a handshake, he ends up like hugging him or whatever.
He goes in for a hug.
Yeah.
He's like, nice to meet you.
Gross,
And then
dude.
as they all walk away, it shows the captain or whatever. He like looks at his hand. He goes, kind of does the little sniff thing. Does it smell funky?
Dude, that's the worst. Like when you shake someone's hand and immediately you're like, I need to go wash this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do I not touch anything but not be awkward
why,
enough that
you
they
know,
realize
I
that
don't
I'm not
shake
touching
hands
anything?
much anymore. I fist bump.
I was going to say, you saying that post-COVID that now you're more aware of it, I would say shaking hands is a big one for
It's
me.
harder. It's way harder now.
Especially because, like, in my, like, you can probably relate, but, like, in my line of work, it's like after doing business, you stand up, you shake hands, send them on their way. That used to be the thing. Now I'm, like, so hesitant.
Now you're like,
If they put their hand out,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna,
just,
yeah,
it's in his sleeve. It's like Spider-Man. He just like squirts it.
little tiny.
No, I got a guy in my ward who went through major cancer battles. He's actually been pretty well off now, but yeah, he won't shake anybody's hand, but he fist bumps. So I'm like, all right, if you
Like
can,
Howie Mandel.
yeah, and he's like, if you do that, then that's the proper way to do it because he's not scared. Like when it comes to germs, when it comes to fist bumps.
Yeah.
But he won't shake anybody's hands. Like I've tried to, and he goes, "Nah, I'm gonna fist bump." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
We're going to fist bump this one, bud.
either that or I'll fist bump you in your face.
I still shake hands.
It's like, I fist people.
That's because you're a gentleman and a scholar.
I don't know about that.
Well, anyways,
Missed it.
What did you say?
rat friend here. You are absolved of a-holery, okay?
Yeah,
you are
I
not
mean,
the a-hole.
I think in your story itself, you literally mark who is the asshole.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got his hand on it.
Literally.
Literally. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I believe he did.
Checking the oil.
Disgusting, man.
Sometimes you got to check that oil level.
You
right?
gotta
No,
check
no,
the oil.
No,
Not when you have a bidet. Don't even got to think about it.
There's a hot and cold line. Which one is?
Hey, maybe he, farted and thought something else came out with it and had to check
Why do
himself.
Go to the
That's
bathroom.
why you go to the bathroom and you
pull
wipe.
your pants down and look. You don't have to touch anything. You're just like, yep.
Yep, there's a scout
Or you
there.
give it a little wiggle and you go, nope, we're good.
You
Like,
give it an hour, and if it turns into an itchy a-hole, you go check it
No,
out.
eventually it feels cold. You're like, oh no.
You're like, oh, something's...
Yeah.
The climate has changed in the ecosystem down south. Feel a warm front coming
A
on.
little warm, kind of
There's a storm.
cold.
There's a storm coming.
Well, moving on. We'll jump into our first one. Here we're actually on Ranker reading some of the top AITA
Should you
MIB
start at
holes.
15? Because that one's the most upvoted.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So it's backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 15
So we'll
would be the so you're going to want to stay around for number 1.
There we go. All right. Number 15. They made a joke when their friend said she was pregnant.
Oh no.
Oh.
Does not everyone do that?
a-hole.
My friend Alice, fake name, 32-year-old female, and her husband have been trying to have a baby for about 3 years. I, a 29-year-old female, am child-free, but this has never caused a problem in my relationship with Alice. We would often joke about this difference, with me telling her stuff like she'll miss all the disposable income when she has kids, and her comparing my dog to a human kid. Neither of us got offended with the joking, and it was all in good fun. On Friday, Alice, a couple other friends, and I went to lunch, and Alice told us that she was 3 months pregnant. I jokingly said, "I'm so sorry. Let me know if you need a ride to the clinic." Alice flipped out and called me insensitive. I told her that I was joking, but she wouldn't hear it, and she ended up leaving. She hasn't responded to my texts or calls ever since.
Yikes.
Our other friends are staying out of it and don't want to give their opinions. I understand that my comment would come off as rude if I said it to a stranger, but Alice knows me, and this is how we joke with each other. Is she the a-hole? Now, I would like to point out that her previous jokes that she mentioned, not even close
Yeah.
to that one.
No.
Like, she talks about, oh, you're not going to have disposable income. Oh, how you're going to be comparing kids to my dog or whatever. Like, these are not mean jokes. Those are just silly. But you straight up just suggested that she murder her child.
Yeah. Ooh. It's a weird boundary because it is a very personal joke, and it could be good for the group. Like, if they joke like that, obviously the one that she mentions isn't that dark. I could see how if you have dark-minded friends, that could be like an acceptable joke. But having had kids, I mean, whenever I tell my friends that we're expecting a baby, I just want happy and excited and support.
Well, and the fact that she's been trying for 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, this is something she's been trying to attain for a long time.
Oh,
Chris?
man.
Chris, you have a thought.
I think
does.
she just stepped up her jokes.
Leveled up, man. Yeah, I see both sides of it.
I was
Because
gonna say, here's the thing. Now, I'm gonna use you two as an example.
yeah.
If it's someone like Chris and Lisa, where you guys have wanted to have the kids but you struggle,
Yeah.
and to make that type of comment, I feel like that's an asshole thing to say.
To me?
Yes, I know you wouldn't take it that way, but it is kind of
Context.
situation.
Context.
What if we were to say to Lisa?
yeah.
Well, you guys wouldn't. You haven't said anything to her like that, though.
But
That's what we're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that
Now-
would be a terrible thing.
Because
to
we're
say.
not assholes.
all Austin has to do is look at his wife in the wrong way, and she's pregnant.
Yeah, I hate it.
Listen, all I'm
And
saying,
so,
I wouldn't say that as a joke, but I do appreciate.
you appreciate the
Yeah.
humor.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean,
But-
if we're putting it in line, it's almost like, who's that? Daniel Tosh? Like, that's a Daniel Tosh
That is a
level
Daniel Tosh
joke.
level.
Yeah.
100%. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
but as I'm saying though, we say that to Austin on like his fourth kid. Austin be like, "Yeah, can you drive? Well, let's take her. Let's go."
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. See, that makes sense.
It's the context. Like, I don't know.
Well, and it's like
That's
how
rough.
I could
Yeah.
say it to Chris because Chris would appreciate it, but the
maybe
context of
too
the
that
Bible.
maybe too if she was, let's see, she was 3 months pregnant. So I mean
That's
second trimester, right?
That's
Not quite.
end of
the
the
end of
first
the
going
first.
into the
That's
second.
going into this. Yeah.
But I mean that's the safe zone for the most part.
4 months is.
Stip-
Yeah, you're just about there.
Okay.
I think 4.
Because I was
isn't
gonna
it?
say if you say it and
Like
then
12?
like say like a couple weeks later she miscarries or something.
well, then you're gambling. Okay, that's just a gamble.
See, I would be the other friend at the table going, oh, ooh, like I would think it was funny until I look at the reaction of the person who
That's
took.
the one where you make the face. You're like, oh.
like you wait for the last. It's like, "Ah!"
It's that face where you
Yep.
can look offended, but you can also laugh at the same
Exactly.
time.
You're at the crossroads, ready to take either route.
You're like, read the room, bud.
Yeah.
Pause. Let's see.
But what if we all just did that? Who's cracking first, boys?
It's Chris that said
Oh
it,
my
and
gosh.
we're all over here like,
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it totally matters.
that's a hard one.
It is. That's
I think
a tough one.
more
I
you
think the
discuss it.
kicker. I don't remember who said it, but I think the kicker is the fact that they've been trying for 3 years. Like
Yeah.
kind of like the point Zach's making is it's like in a couple situation like Chris and Lisa's where they struggle, they've been trying, and they finally get it. Just to hear a joke like that, that's pretty low.
It's insensitive.
But let's just say they're pregnant with their second kid, third kid, fourth kid, you know. Then it's
Not too
funny.
late to turn back.
He's I wonder too, though. Like, it sounds like all the other jokes are just between them, not in a public setting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. That's a good point.
So I think the fact, like, yeah,
Maybe.
it's like there's some jokes like that. Like, for some reason, in a public setting, I don't know. It's more. It hits harder.
Yeah.
And here's another thing too is. Sorry, you interjecting made me think. Oh, I should stop, and then
No, go.
No, and then I lost my thought.
It flew away. Went off to the clinic.
So I was like, oh,
I just had to try it out. You know,
It's one way to get your.
Let's see how it is.
That's
you
one
know?
way to get your wings, or what?
Whoa!
No,
Okay.
that's Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings.
No, they give you wings.
Oh, that's right, wings.
right, yeah, you can't do that.
Oh man. So see, yeah, now I'm on the fence.
I'm not saying anything.
That's
You can go darker. You can go way darker.
Yes, you could.
I'm on the fence with this one. I don't think she necessarily is, but I do.
I think we need more details.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think
it isn't. It is.
Maybe it was those pregnancy hormones.
And that's
if
that was the other part I was
Yeah.
going to say is if you don't understand, especially that first trimester, dude, their emotions, not even experiencing it firsthand, but secondhand, it is wild.
Yeah.
And so anything can set them off.
yeah.
You can put a fork in the fork holder wrong, and that ruins a day.
Yep.
It ruins a day.
done.
Don't touch my dishes anymore. Yes,
Then
ma'am.
you forget about it, and then you're laying in bed, and she's like, "I can't believe you did that."
here.
Then you have
or
the
she
fork in
cries
the
about
thigh.
it.
This is how the fork goes in.
Or they cry and they're like, "I'm sorry, I was so mean, but don't do it again."
Here, I'll settle it.
Made me this.
Given the context, the comment can be an a-hole comment.
Yeah.
But with their friendship and how she meant it, I truly believe that she did not mean it that way.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the
And
other,
so therefore,
that's the other
I don't
half.
think she is
Yeah.
the asshole because of that.
Isn't
Yeah.
there like a second, like a lower tier?
There has to be.
I feel like
a
there is.
beehole, a
It's
butthole.
You're not.
Well, so
you're
he-
not an a-hole. You just.
You're a
I think
taint.
you just. You're tanked. Sure.
You're tanked. You're kind of
You're,
like
you're kind of a taint because you used it in the wrong setting.
you still get
Yes.
a little
Other people-
smelly sometimes, but you're not actually like.
Or a fart. It just slipped out. One or the other.
Oh gosh.
It could be.
I mean, here's the other thing too. It's solely the intent.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, she wasn't.
It
saying
was a joke. It wasn't meant with intent. Like, hey,
Yeah.
do you really let's go? It was just like a lighthearted.
She wasn't saying it to be malicious.
Not lighthearted.
like-
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I think a lot of this gets lost in is people's intent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Next one.
Next up, they told their sister-in-law she didn't actually run a marathon.
Dicks.
I've been a runner for as long as I can remember. I absolutely love it. I want running to continue growing as a competitive activity and as a just for fun hobby. I encourage to support newcomers to running, but recently I encountered a situation where I felt gatekeeping was necessary.
Huh?
Already, I feel gatekeeping. It's where you feel like
You're an a-hole.
You're stopping people from coming into something.
Yeah.
Not telling other people where your fishing hole is.
Yeah.
Gatekeeping. My sister-in-law got into running last year, and she absolutely fell in love with it as well. Since I am also a runner, I decided I could connect with her on the topic. I wanted to hear about her runs, her progress, and maybe offer some helpful guidance if she wanted it. So at the family gathering, I asked her about running. After a bit of conversation, she mentioned to me that she ran a marathon. I was quite surprised she ran a marathon after only getting into running as of a year ago. Do you think this person never ran in their life, ever? Like, it's not like running is a thing you didn't do all the time as a child.
Right.
Marathon's hard.
People
though.
don't run.
Marathon's
Marathons
hard.
are hard.
100%. But I mean, this person's not the only person that runs. That is amazing. What an incredible dedication to drive, I thought to myself. I was about to praise her for this incredible accomplishment, but then she explains this marathon in detail. It was a virtual marathon that she started late last year and apparently completed this year. Basically, it was an app-based event where you tally up your running distance until you reach 42.2 kilometers, which is 26.2 miles. I chuckled slightly and told her that it's great that she totaled the 42 kilometers in that time frame, but it doesn't count as a marathon. I told her that marathons have time limits for completion, usually 6 to 8 hours. If they didn't, then I could claim multiple ultra marathons via the aggregate distances I ran in my life. It's disingenuous, and in my opinion, undermines those who have actually ran a marathon. She didn't take this well. She called me an a-hole, a bully, an elitist, and a few other things. I apologize for upsetting her, but I stand by what I said. She didn't run a marathon. I didn't press the subject at all and left it at that. She wouldn't speak to me the rest of the gathering. My wife agrees with me despite not being a runner herself. She said after her sister overreacted, their mother said that I should have just let my sister-in-law believe that she ran a marathon. Maybe, I don't know. She was 23 years old without any impairments. Validating her marathon would feel similar to lying to a child to boost their confidence. The difference is she is not a child. Am I the a-hole?
No.
I don't think so.
Here's your participation trophy. Good luck next
Yep.
year.
If she worded it like, I ran the distance of a marathon, like, I don't know.
I ran the distance of a marathon in the last 5 months.
Bro, I've probably run at least
But-
the distance of one marathon in my entire lifetime.
the laughing part and saying that seemed condescending to a degree.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna throw a wrench in it, and I'm gonna say that she kind of is an asshole,
I think it's
He.
he. Sorry, because I'm sorry. Like, are you really that big of a runner
Yeah.
that you have to make fun of someone for?
He made it clear. He's
Yeah.
a big runner.
Yeah, like, do you really have to to tell someone that, oh, you didn't run a marathon?
I bet he also
Like-
does CrossFit and he's a vegetarian or
Right.
Well, I mean,
Like, I get where he's coming from. Like, yeah, but at the same time, do you have to throw that back in the person's face and make them feel like an idiot? Like,
yes.
no. Like,
wouldn't say
there's no to me, there's no point for it. To me, it's worth saving the argument and just saying, hey, good for you. You ran a virtual marathon. You know in your head that they didn't. Leave it, walk away.
See, I feel like
That's just,
I feel like if
see
it
what
were
you're
me,
saying.
yeah.
Have you ran a virtual marathon?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither. I'm just wondering.
I walked a 5K once.
Did you?
Go ahead.
I
Tony.
feel like I'd put it lightly and just like say, "Oh, that's awesome, good for you." I mean, it's not really a marathon, but hey, you know what? That's great.
Oh, why'd you have to use
Like-
quotations?
Yeah.
That's
it's
my
not.
point. Is because it's not a marathon.
I'm very much
I know.
about like respecting the real meaning. I because
agree.
if we don't, I feel like that's where we end up and how we are in society right now.
Definitions matter.
Definitions
yes,
matter.
They do.
Like
'Cause
a
it's like saying,
marathon
like-
is it's a timed thing.
Right.
Like
It's like saying like I've jumped to the clouds before, because if you were to add up the many feet that I've jumped in my lifetime on a trampoline
Or
and add it up,
Here's a better one. I broke 60 playing 18 holes of golf. Very few pros have done that. But I didn't tell you I took 50 mulligans.
okay.
whatever. See, I think the big thing is that it diminishes the actual accomplishment.
Yeah.
so,
Because the accomplishment is the timed.
Yeah.
or you just say, "Oh, virtual marathons must be different than an actual marathon." The rules must be different. You could say
And
like
and
that.
they are
Yeah.
because I've had friends who've done virtual like half marathons. You get like a week to do it in.
Yeah.
You just have to tally up your stuff.
Why would they
It's
call
not
it?
a marathon.
Is one of your friends, Kara?
No, is he right?
No. Just shaking my head because that was kind of a dick comment. You were coming close to the asshole.
So why would they call that they should call it something different.
Yeah,
It should have a different word.
It's just
that's
just a virtual.
what we're saying.
Yeah.
Because
virtual
to
run.
me, a virtual marathon could be you're still running a marathon, but you're on a treadmill at home and you have to do it in 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like then you could do a virtual marathon.
I'm the type on here. I see it both ways because my brother runs marathons like nobody's business. He's ran a lot. It takes a lot of prep. It takes a lot of it's a lot of hard
it's
work.
a big accomplishment.
So I see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I don't feel like he had to diminish her in a way and laugh at her and be like, oh yeah, you ran a marathon. Yeah, I don't know.
That part I disagree with.
I feel like
I
it's-
see both parts of it,
It's
and I
the
feel
delivery.
yeah.
yeah, and I
That's
feel
what
like
we're saying.
he is an asshole a little
You
bit
shouldn't
about it.
talk down to him, but you should. I mean, education. You can educate somebody
Yeah.
without talking down to
I
him.
think that's the bottom line right there.
Yeah. Education matters.
Is if he delivered it in more of a way like, well,
Yeah,
you know, technically.
So do definitions.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know.
yeah.
Like,
I shot an 8-point buck.
because I mean, the
Virtually.
point is,
from 186 yards with my
dude.
bow and arrow.
yeah.
So
I didn't
here's-
even have to track him down.
Here's the other thing I read on there too. He says marathons have time limits. To her credit, those virtual ones, they do have time limits. They just give you a lot longer to complete it
A year.
than I could
That's
be
what
they
it
have,
said. Well,
they have
hers
more
was like-
stringent time.
an actual
Time limits.
an actual marathon. I mean, that's the thing. Marathons have time limits. This one, I've seen some of them where it gives you a whole month to do it in.
So then I think
I mean,
at the end of the
So
day,
called
they
a-
should call it something
A
different.
prolonged.
yeah, it should be called something
A
different.
prolonged run.
Prolonged marathon.
A prolongathon.
Prolonged.
Or even just like it could
There you
even
go.
just be marathon training, like
Yeah.
because you shorten the time over time and get better and better and better
Right.
until you do an actual marathon.
marathon.
So I think we give this guy the stamp of taint again because he just
I don't think
his-
he's an a-hole.
his delivery and how it sounds like he carries himself. Because I will say,
He seems
two
kind of
things-
pompous. in
Two
the-
things I hate when I'm driving: runners and bikers on the road.
Bicyclists?
I hate all of
Cyclists,
you. I
yeah.
hate every single one of you. Get off the freaking road.
You don't pay taxes on it.
Get out of here.
I don't mind bicyclists,
Oh,
but
I
when
hate
they
them the
when
most.
they
That's
the only thing that bugs me about them is when they hover that line and you have to like go into oncoming traffic to get around them.
So
Oh,
every you time,
do? I just give him. No, I'm just kidding.
right?
Little
Remember
bug.
that-
I like to make him nervous. Just get close.
You know that like do you remember that video? I think we sent it out one of these times where the guy is in his truck driving on the bike lane, which is like separated from the road by grass. And it's like Scotland or something because he's got a heavy accent. But he's driving up. He's like, "Hey, you a-holes, how do you like it when I use your?"
How do you like it when I do
They're both
it?
like screaming at each other. Oh, it's so funny.
Well, was it Tosh? He's like, as a vehicleist, I hate pedestrians. As a pedestrian, I hate vehicleists. But I think we can all agree we all
Yes.
hate cyclists.
Nailed it.
100%.
Nailed
So
it.
badly want to just slap their butt as you're passing them.
Just grab their handlebar.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's going to be interesting. Adopted a child and changed their middle name to what their birth name was supposed to be.
Okay.
Okay, I was adopted at birth. My adoptive parents and I have a good relationship now, but it was rocky for a few years there. They didn't tell me I was adopted, and I found out in what I consider the worst way when I was 16. A spiteful relative told me, not out of my best interest, but they got mad at my mom and were trying to ruin her life. It caused a
person
huge
Lacey?
fight. Dude, that's a wild story.
Yeah.
It caused a huge fight within the family, and everyone focused on the drama rather than my entire life crumbling. I finally ended up in therapy at 18 and have been attending on and off for the past 10 years, currently on. I didn't speak to my parents from the time I was 18 until I was 23. Dang. They acted like I was insane for being upset about all this. Eventually, they apologized and began going to therapy themselves. We've slowly rebuilt our relationship. They have since accepted my search for my bio family, and upon finding my bio mom, have been amazing with her. My bio mom was coerced into giving me up. She hadn't wanted to, but her family all but forced her. She had no support. My parents didn't know this part, but purposefully chose a private adoption so I'd never know I was adopted. My bio mom and I have known each other for 4 years now. She is an amazing, kind, and generous woman who is just like me. I spent so long feeling unseen and different. She was like completing a puzzle. My bio dad died when I was 12, and it's devastating to know I'll never meet him. He didn't want to give me up either. But they were very young and again, no support. My bio mom told me she had named me Summer, but my adoptive parents changed it. She understood, but I could tell the name meant a lot to her. I recently got married and am changing my last name. I decided since I'm changing my last name, I'll change my middle name too. It's got no sentimental value versus Summer. Or no sentimental meaning versus Summer. Which does to my bio mom, as it's her favorite summer, and I was born on the first day of summer.
It's her favorite season.
Yeah, that's
Born on the
yeah.
first. Yeah. Anyways,
What did I say?
you said it's her favorite summer.
Oh, weird. Makes sense. My bio mom cried tears of joy when I told her, so she is so touched. My adoptive parents are pissed off. They say that I have erased them. I kept my first name that they gave me. They say if I had to, I should have just added Summer to my name. Am I the a-hole? Edit, because some people are twisting my words. I am not mad I was adopted. Given my bio mom was coerced and forced, someone had to. I was not given up out of love. My bio parents loved me, but if they had it their way, I would have been raised by them. I'm mad that I was lied to for 16 years by my adoptive parents' admission. They never planned on telling me. I cut them off because they gaslit me and refused to admit that they handled it badly, on top of telling me I was crazy for being hurt. I do not need to be grateful that I was adopted. I do not need to be grateful they loved me or provided for me. Those are basic things that should be done. I am grateful for a lot, but that doesn't change the awful things they did. My adoptive parents admitted my middle name is meaningless. They picked it randomly. It's the stereotypical Marie. So yes, I'm sure. I am sure. Finally, I did not change my name to be vindictive. I changed it to represent both families. I am not upset my name was originally changed. I get it. I'm just trying to form a connection to my birth family.
First, I was going to say no until I read that middle comment in the edit, and I'm going to say, yeah, she's an asshole.
Which one?
Or he.
I don't need to be grateful that they took care of me and
Yep.
clothed me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
That. No, I'm sorry. You do need to be grateful because
They sacrificed.
they sacrificed a
lot.
lot to take care of you as well.
Yeah.
and here's the thing. Even though
So-
that should be how it is not for a lot of people.
I mean, that's the one biggest thing I am trying to teach my oldest right now is you need to be grateful. Like we're trying to show her what me and Kara have gone through to make sure she can do the things that she does in life. Same thing with my other two kids. You need to be grateful for that. You need to show appreciation for that. And, and that way they can learn later in life when people do this stuff for them or when they get married or anything like that, they can understand.
It's a big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is
So
a big deal.
for changing their middle name,
Entitlement.
no. But I feel like she or he or whatever it is.
I think it's a girl.
Is it a girl? I feel like she is, a little bit.
For being entitled.
Yep.
That entitlement thing, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've over the last several months, year, something, that word gaslight, gaslit, whatever, I'm hating that word more
Oh,
and
it's
more.
so dumb.
Well, it gets misused now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like gaslighting someone is not agreeing with their opinion.
Damn you, TikTok.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing too.
That they don't understand the true definition of a gaslit, of being gaslit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The uncle doesn't come out and say that, oh, you were adopted, blah, blah, blah. She never knows. This never happens.
Oh, yeah. So that person's an a-hole also.
Yeah,
I
so
think
that
that's the
person
hidden
is.
a-hole in the group here. The one who used her to get back at the mom.
Exactly.
She was just in the crossfire.
Do you think a child, you should tell a child if they were adopted or not, though?
I think so.
I agree.
I think you should be open to it
Yes.
for when they need to hear it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you need to be like jumping the gun and be like, you're adopted.
Yeah.
Go to your room, you're adopted.
Right? When they do something you hate, you're like, you're adopted anyways.
I
You
have
could use it as a weapon, and that's
I'm
all right.
adopted? What?
I have
Who
two,
told you? He's black.
I'm black. We were going to do this together. So
I've
where are
got-
you from originally?
I've got two cousins who were adopted, and one of them now, she has met her adopted. I mean, her what do they call it? The bio parents and stuff like that, bio family, and she understands now that she just has two families, basically.
More people
And
that love you.
she's had the opportunity to meet her bio family, and they love, she's accepted everything. But she also understands that my uncle and aunt who adopted her also sacrificed a lot to bring her into the family and took care of her as pretty much it's my child.
Yeah.
And she understands that as well. And so she doesn't hold anybody against it, and she's not mad. And the same thing, she was told at a certain time that, you were adopted. I mean, so
Well, Lisa, same thing. She was adopted.
was she really?
You didn't know this story?
No.
Dude, that story's wild.
Yeah. We'll have to, so, paraphrase it.
TIDR. TLDR.
Too long, didn't read.
Oh. So anyway,
Paraphrase.
she was adopted. They didn't tell her.
5 sentences.
I don't.
You're two in.
Don't
TLDR.
You're two in. You got 3 more
Don't
sentences.
you tell. No. Anyways. So,
Did you see that look he gave me? I was trying to be funny.
She's like, don't hit me with grammar. Stop it.
I was processing. You guys are making my brain hurt.
How long can I drag on a
Just go.
sentence?
Go. Continue.
So, Lisa was adopted. She wasn't told she was adopted. She was always treated differently. She found out she was adopted because she overheard her grandma or somebody made a hint about it, like, that's your cousin, and she didn't. She's like, no, they're not. Her parents always treated her different. When she found out she was adopted, she asked them, and they said, well, your dad wanted nothing to do with you, and this and that, and he.
See, and I remember when I was early on in our friendship, that was the story.
Yeah.
Her birth family didn't want her, nothing to do with her, hate her, or whatever.
And that was to make her not like him, but he actually is in the same situation. He was pushed into being adopted
Or adopting
or
her.
to adopting her.
Yeah.
He was a young guy. He was an illegal immigrant at the time. He had, he's working in a field. He had no idea. He thought she'd have a better life with them. And then
And then
come
they
to
cut
find
him
out.
off completely,
cut
right?
him off completely. He was supposed to be able to talk to her and see her, and it never happened. And then they pretty much made her feel like she wasn't wanted by him, and that's why they have her, just for their own selfish reasons. So,
But now they besties.
Yeah.
yeah, they're close. They're really close.
Well, and even with Kaylee, 'cause I plan on adopting her one day.
Yeah.
You
Figure
haven't
all
yet?
that out. It's a weird road. There's a lot of hoops.
That
Yeah,
stuff
it's
is
really
weird.
it's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
annoying. So basically, what I've been doing is just teaching her that family is family.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're
this,
gaslighting her.
heck yeah, I am.
No, he's turning into Dominic
go.
Toretto. Okay.
Right? I'm like, it doesn't
Family.
matter. Like she
Family.
acts like me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Has so many of my personality traits. Like we're really close. We get along. Like there is no division between us. That's why I don't ever use the word step in anything.
Right.
Because I'm teaching her she is my family, and no matter what.
Right.
Like, because at the end of the day, if sometimes blood doesn't mean anything,
Yeah.
if that person decides not
Yeah.
to be part of it.
Yeah.
Except for when it comes to genetic defaults.
That's just at the doctor's office, okay?
Oh.
You worry about that then. Moving on.
Okay.
They lost their passport to avoid babysitting on vacation. Okay.
Oh wait, did we have a consensus on the last one?
Yeah, she's just kind of a taint for being entitled.
So we have 3 taints in a
We
row.
got 3 taints.
Come on, guys. There's 5 of us.
I feel-
Majority
No, we
rules.
found an a-hole in here. It was the uncle.
Well, I did say that she was an a-hole for reacting the way she did.
Yeah.
She for
True.
The edit comments.
Yeah, in the edit comments.
So
Yeah.
she was
Saying
almost free, but
She's-
she edited herself into being an a-hole.
She's a taint.
Those
with-
are basic things that should be done. No, I'm sorry.
You're
Well,
right.
they
They
should be
should be
done.
done.
Well, they should.
But she
you
should be thankful.
There you go.
Yeah.
Same page.
Yeah.
And that's why blood doesn't matter.
That's right.
All right.
All right. I, female, 17. Not I. This
Oh my
person.
gosh, I read this one earlier and okay, go
it
ahead.
good?
This
Is
one's
it
good.
good?
This
Okay,
one's
okay,
good.
okay.
This one's really
Still
good.
live at home. You're 17. Okay. My sister, 28, is married and has 2 kids, 5 and 3. Whenever she comes over to visit, my parents and her stick me with the kids. This wouldn't be a problem, except she doesn't visit for an evening. She will come for a week. And for the week, I am an unpaid nanny. If we go out to a restaurant, I have to entertain them because my mom needs to talk to my sister and
Brother-in-law.
brother-in-law. You get the picture. My parents decided that since this was my last summer before I became an adult, we would be going to Disneyland to celebrate my graduation. I asked who was going, and they said that it was just the 3 of us. But then we got to the airport, and my sister and her family were there. Strangely enough, they were also going to Disneyland. I went into my backpack and grabbed my passport. I put it in my sock. Then, when we got to the international security, I couldn't find it. We looked everywhere. I had to Uber home, and I missed my flight. Oh well, I get to stay home by myself for a week of peace and quiet. My parents were very mad at me for losing my passport. The money they spent on the flight and the entrance was wasted. Darn. My mom and sister have both been posting about how hard it is to be at Disneyland with 2 little ones. They both posted that I ruined the vacation by being so thoughtless. My dad says he knows why I did, and he understands. But he says I should have let them know so he didn't waste the money. He said that he would have gone along with my ruse. I feel bad about wasting money, but I have been to Disneyland before, and I will go later by myself or with friends.
There's a lot
Not
of
No.
the asshole.
No,
Nope.
The wasting the money thing, maybe a little.
Yes, but even so, the dad,
yeah,
the
Zach, where are
dad
you
was a
on that
stud
one?
here too.
But here's the
I was
thing.
I do agree with the dad. It's let me know so I don't waste my
Well,
money
it's like,
next
hey,
time.
how-
But
she didn't know.
that's true.
She didn't know till she was in the airport.
That's
true.
So how could she have let him know?
It's true.
Yeah.
They kept it from her.
Good point. Good point.
Had they told her,
See, did they know the whole time that the
I guarantee
sister with the
you.
kids was showing
Or
up?
was it
Oh,
like
100%.
Guarantee
coincidence?
you they knew that she was going
It
to
had
be there.
to.
And
See, I feel like this is like a not as extreme version of the autistic sister
Yeah.
one.
Mm-hmm.
You
yeah,
know,
I can see that.
Where it's like they're counting on the one sister to take care of the other kids so the adults can go have fun. It's like she's on that border, 17, almost 18. And so it's like, that's a tough age because you're still technically a kid, but you're not. And so
Yeah.
it's like, oh, sorry, you're not 18. You don't get to sit at the grown-up table. You get to watch the kids.
Yeah, but also the whole purpose, supposedly, of the vacation was to celebrate the 17-year-old.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Here's what she also could have done. She could have gone on the vacation.
And said, I'm
and
not watching your kid.
Yeah, and then when they said, "Hey, can you watch the kids so we can do this?" I would have looked at it and said, "No. You can call
Nope.
me a jerk, mean, rude, what? I'm not watching your kids. This
Yeah,
is
true.
my vacation. You brought them along. You watch them."
Yeah.
If you're gonna be an a-hole in any way, do it there like that.
Yep. Because
Oh, yeah.
you still wouldn't be an a-hole. I mean,
No.
they're the a-holes for thinking they could just go to Disneyland and pawn the kids off on somebody.
Yup. You are absolved. Holy
That's a
moly,
long
that one's long.
You are.
Go to
I
the
say
next
we,
one.
I say we
We got to hurry this
What's up?
along.
Oh, here we go.
Or we just do 5, and then we have 2 more episodes. Content.
There we go. There we go. Ooh, that one's interesting.
Wait, hold on. Let's do
Do I
it.
want to do the big one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just go. We'll go to 10, and we'll have to split this up into different ones.
These are good.
They
It's
took
gonna
their
be
daughter.
like 10 parts of this episode.
Three.
Hey, 3. You know,
5 at a
15.
time.
Oh.
math.
Well, no, I just meant
Math doesn't lie.
meant with how many.
maybe if we break it up into 3, it'll just be one podcast, and we could call it a marathon.
Hey, there we go. We spread
And
it out over 3
then-
weeks. It's just a podcast. Just one podcast.
It's a virtual pod.
Virtual podcast. Oh boy. This one's titled, "They Took Their Daughter Out of the Country Without Telling Her Dad." Oh, someone
Oh,
would probably
that's
someone would
illegal.
probably get shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took my daughter to France for a week. We're from the UK. I think we all know the answer to this one.
Huh.
They're from the UK.
Okay.
What are all UK people a-holes?
Zach said it, not me.
You suckered me in.
I did. I got you, dude. I got you.
His reaction.
How dare you?
That's the reaction we're talking about with the oh, do you need to drive to the clinic?
Oh, that was so good, Kim. That was good. That was excellent.
Oh,
It was a joke.
it was a joke. We love you. Gosh, guys, come on. She missed no time off school, and it didn't affect her contact with her dad. We have child arrangements order, and legally, I'm allowed to take my daughter anywhere without permission or notice as long as it doesn't affect contact. I checked with the solicitor. You selling her? When I booked the holiday, I went to...
They purchased her. So when I have her, can I just like
I sent a WhatsApp message to my daughter's dad to tell him I was taking her on holiday. I gave the dates, the location, and the travel details. There's a big but. I know he has me blocked on WhatsApp, so I knew he'd never see the message. I knew if he knew, he'd kick off and try to ruin our holiday. I know I'm not legally obligated to tell him about our holiday, but I thought it would help the situation if I could say, well, I did send him the details. Ooh, that's just a dirty trick.
Condescending.
Anyway,
Should have sent it by carrier pigeon.
right? We get to France and we're having a great time. My daughter decided to call her dad for a chat. I told her she can tell him whatever she likes. It's up to her if she tells him we're on holiday. But I did warn her that he probably doesn't know and might be unhappy. Partway through the call, she mentions we're in France and he goes ballistic, screaming, shouting, etc. He demanded to speak to me. I got on the phone but couldn't get a word in for all the screaming, so I ended the call. He started blowing up mine and my daughter's phone, demanding we return to the UK immediately. He was threatening to have me arrested for abduction, etc. I calmly sent him a message stating, we are on holiday. We'll be home before he is due to see his daughter, and that daughter is happy, healthy, and enjoying a holiday. I told him that he's welcome to call and text her, but please stop screaming and shouting, as it is distressing her. He texted back, calling me an a-hole and saying he'll see me in court. Am I the a-hole? ETA. What is ETA, Zach?
estimated time of
Yeah.
arrival?
I know, that's what's weird.
That's I was like,
Extra. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Whenever my ex doesn't like something, he keeps our daughter and refuses to return her. I'm then forced to apply to the court that costs £300 FYI. Then just before court or once we've missed whatever he intended to ruin, he brings her back. The court then says there is no issue and life resumes. It's a terrible system, but it's what we have, so I deal with it. He has pretty minimal contact as it is 2 weekends a month. I have a non-molestation order against him, but we can communicate about our daughter, and obviously I have to see him at handovers. He is blocked on every platform, but he unblocks me whenever he wants, then blocks again. My daughter has her own phone that she called him from. I understand nothing about the situation is ideal. My daughter has begged me for 2 years to go to Disneyland, and I so badly wanted to take her there, make this dream possible for her. I'm pretty sick of living a life where so much is controlled by my ex. This is the first time I've really gone against him and decided to just do what I wanted. I have a court order. It clearly states I can take my daughter out of the country for up to 28 days without notification or permission from her dad. Please stop telling me I broke the law. I did not. Like I said above, I even double-checked with my solicitor before booking the holiday.
I can tell you right now, they're both assholes.
Really?
Yep.
Elaborate.
I feel like they're both utilizing their daughter and putting their daughter in a situation that she shouldn't be
Like
in.
using her as a pawn?
Yes.
I can see that.
And I don't know. And for her to, well, I did notify him, but I know I'm blocked. Like, if it's not that big of a deal and you know you can do it, hey, I'm taking her here whether you like it or not. I'm just giving you an advance notice. You can't do that. Great. Take me to court. See you later. I'm taking her.
I have a solicitor who says otherwise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not that big of a deal, just tell him and go do it.
Yeah.
He can scream and yell all he wants.
Block
Like,
him.
Yeah. Block him.
It's true.
I don't know.
Block him during the vacation.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about divorce, when the kids get in the way and the parents take it out on each other in front of the kids. I think there should
Or they
just
use
be,
the kids to take it out on
or
each
use
other.
the kids as a pawn like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it bugs
I
me.
feel like
Yeah.
the parents are both a-holes in this perspective.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I see that.
You made good points. Just as a heads up, I had to look it up just because I was curious. A solicitor in British terminology means a member of a legal profession qualified to deal with conveyancing, the drawing up of wills, and other legal matters.
So lawyer.
Why not just say that? Plus, you went on vacation. I mean, it's
Holiday.
vacation. There's no holiday during that time.
You fell right into that.
I get it.
Just kidding. I love
Cam
you.
has a fancy way of just ruffling the feathers.
I do, and it's just fun with the British. I love them.
I love
It's
holiday.
a fun pastime.
I like
It
that
really
holiday,
is. I think
saying
it's-
holiday.
I love it. Right?
I do. We're going on holiday.
Sounds like a rich person's term.
It really does.
It does.
Like the monarchy.
I'm gonna go on a holiday.
Like we're going to our estate
Yeah.
when it's a cabin.
Our estate, yeah, it's just a patch of dirt that we put tents on. It's my estate.
The RV park.
Shitter's full.
All righty. Last story of the
Last
night.
one.
All just agree with me on that one?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Well
I
said.
sold that
Good
one
job.
really quick. Wow.
Good job.
All right.
You did good job.
That works.
Did good job.
Did good.
Divorce is poo poo.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, that'd be hard.
Well, so that was our 5.
This.
If you count 11 through 5.
Just do number 10.
15.
You're
We'll
right.
be done.
You're right. Numbers are dumb.
Just do number 10. We'll be done.
Am I doing 10? I'm
Yeah,
doing 10.
just do
It's a
10.
shorty. Okay. They scared their nephew for life.
Yes.
This should be good.
I love this.
I had a cookout at my place on the 4th. My daughter's 13. My daughter's Switch goes missing.
Her daughter
For the
who was
holiday?
daughter's
13.
13 and the Switch goes missing.
Was
Yeah.
that for the holiday?
No, this is
The 4th of July.
The 4th of July.
So, yeah,
yeah,
it's a
that is a
holiday.
holiday. You
Yeah.
are correct.
So it's
That's how the
wondering.
terminology
It's
should
U.S.
be used.
holiday.
Yeah.
What?
It's a very special holiday. especially in this case.
One
we-
that they don't celebrate in Britain.
Where we
It's the one-
where we defeated those Brits.
It's the one where we decided to call holidays vacations.
We joke,
and
we joke.
solicitors, lawyers,
Exactly.
and not
Oh.
to use the metric system.
And drop the letter U from pretty much all words.
All the freaking U's.
You know what's funny? I actually feel like, we're like the rednecks to the Britons.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah, dude. Totally.
Okay, all right.
You know,
well, us
you know
and the
how we view-
Australians.
You know how we view the South?
Uh-huh.
We're basically
That's- we're the south of the Brit.
Yeah.
That's the best part about it, though, is that they're mad that we went away and made a better life because of it. Even being rednecks, we have all this land and we have all this fun.
It's us,
Freedom.
us
We're
and the
basically-
Australians, because they
we're-
send their rednecks to Australia.
Yeah, that's true. We're basically Florida to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Florida
okay.
man. Probably over there, the news is like an American man.
The Wild Wild West.
I freaking love it. I love it.
Everyone's got pistols.
Yeah.
They do
Now
think
they're
we're all just
shooting
like,
today.
"Woo!"
Yeah.
Every day we're just like on our front porches like, pow, 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 pow.
Freedom.
And then we pick up our paper and go inside.
Saluting the bald eagle as it flies overhead.
I love stereotypes.
Oh,
They're so
eat
funny.
something much better than bangers and mash.
Well, I like bangers and mash.
I know, but there's better things.
Oh, okay.
Ready, go.
Anyways, the Switch goes missing. I contacted family members and my wife's sister. Said my daughter gave it to... Wait. And my wife's sister said my daughter gave it as a gift to her son, 6 years old, for his upcoming birthday. I asked my daughter and she said it wasn't true. She let him use it so they could all play Mario Kart together, and it went missing after the cookout. My daughter is upset and I call my sister-in-law back, who insists that the Switch is now her son's, and my daughter is too old to play anyways, or will outgrow it soon.
I am 36 years old and I still play my Switch all the
Right.
time.
And it was a gift to my nephew. After this, I contacted my uncle, who is a police officer, and he watches my sister-in-law's house, and a few of his friends go over and threaten to arrest my sister-in-law and nephew over stolen property. My sister-in-law reluctantly gives it back after an incident with the officer that she could have been arrested for. They warned my nephew that the next time he steals, both him and his mom will go to jail. They let my sister-in-law go without incident. Sister-in-law says my nephew has been crying nonstop and having issues sleeping because he doesn't want to go to jail, and she blames me and my family for traumatizing her son. My response might have been heartless because it was, I guess he'll never steal again. My sister-in-law thinks he'll be traumatized for life for making a big deal over a stupid game. Bro, that's $300 right there.
That's
Plus
nuts.
game, that's $70. That's like $400.
Depending
a
on
year.
Joy-Cons you got too.
She nailed it
extra.
on the head. She's heartless. She's not an asshole, but she's a little heartless.
Hey,
No, she just taught that kid a life lesson.
That is very
Valuable.
true, too.
That kid is now going to grow up to be a lawyer.
Yep.
oh yeah, I don't think
Or
she's
a
an
cop.
And no
Like-
offense, how the
Or a
sister-in-law
comedian.
handled it, she kind of deserved it.
Oh, the sister-in-law is totally an a-hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't go to your 6-year-old and have them go, yeah, it was a gift to me, and then talking to the people who gave it to him and go, yeah, no trade backs.
Yep. Sorry, you gave
You
it
know
as a
what?
gift.
In our house right now, so we live with other family, and it's like the kids take it upon themselves to trade toys, and it's just simple toys, but it's like we've had talks with our kids. It's like you can't just go and give toys away. It's like just because you don't play with it anymore doesn't mean it's something we can't pass down to your younger siblings. Or
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but it's like there's some toys that have sentimental value as parents. That it's
Oh,
like
100%.
you
Yeah.
played with this toy as a kid. Just because you don't play with it anymore, it's something to me now because it's like it's what you played with as a baby. Or so you can't just go and give it to your cousin. And it's like that's just a toy. Now you take a game console, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
There's no freaking way.
And
that's-
especially when the other child said, like, I didn't give it to him as a gift. Like, easily could have been like, here, play with this. And that little kid's like, oh, it's a gift.
Yeah, at 6 years old. Yeah.
Well, we've had, we actually had a situation. I wish I could remember what it was, but I remember my daughter came home with something, and she was like, one of my brother's kids gave it to her, and they were like, oh yeah, it was given as a present. I was like, no, this isn't given as a present.
Right?
We're gonna take this back.
Yeah.
See, exactly.
And I've taken it back to my brother, and he's like, and he looks at his kid, and he's like, you gave this out as a present? Well, yeah, I thought she'd like it. And he's like, no, you don't do that. And was like, here, take it. No, this is not a present that your
Yeah,
kid can just
exactly.
give
That's your
out.
mom's wedding ring.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why the sister-in-law's
Right.
the a-hole. It's like among parents, we understand that kids don't get that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So whenever
Yeah.
my kid has something, same thing. I'm like, where'd you get that?
She should have
Who
called
gave it to
the
you?
other
Let's
sister-in-law
find
and
out.
said, hey, my kid came home with a Nintendo Switch
Right.
that your daughter gave him. We can't accept this. I'm giving it back to you.
Right?
You know 100% the sister-in-law is actually the one playing the Switch. And so she's
Oh,
not wanting to
for
give it back.
sure.
She's like,
like,
no way,
oh,
we just
or
scored a
she's-
free Switch. I'm all over
We
this.
could have just broken a theft ring. She's sending her 6-year-old in, like, go ask for this.
Right.
You
There
just
we
this
go.
present.
You
Oh,
just
it's
prevented
ours
a
now.
con man.
There we go.
Prevented a future con
That,
man.
that sister is a hero.
Yeah. You are not the a-hole. Your sister is.
Yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yep.
Speaking of the sentimental value as a parent, our kids keep putting their stuffed animals out into the hallway, and so I'm like, okay, if you guys keep leaving them out here, I'm going to donate them or give them to some kids that'll appreciate them. And so yesterday there was like 8 stuffed animals out in the hallway, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm going to get rid of all these. And they're like, okay. And I was like, wait, hold on.
No, you want these.
It was like her
They
first.
called your bluff.
Yeah, they called you.
It was like her first baby doll that like rattled that she carried everywhere for like 3 years. And I'm like, no. And I was like, immediately I was caught in, like a deer in the headlights. I was like, oh crap, they're seeing the weakness.
Yep.
That's when you say you donated it, but really you tuck
put
it
it in
away.
the
So
closet.
Put it-
Yeah, I should have done that. I just it
that
caught
way
me
you're
so
still
off guard.
backing up
Yeah.
your word.
Now
but
you're done. You
Veteran
bluffed
over
yourself,
here.
and so
Now they
got a
see
veteran.
it.
yep. Now they're not going to take you seriously the
Yeah,
next time
no.
you
He's like,
say
here's
it.
what you do.
See, because you can guarantee this coming Christmas, they're getting toys that have been in storage for the last 2 years.
That looks familiar.
They forgot about him.
Yeah,
Blow the
dude.
dust off it.
I like that.
On the flip side, Paige. So
Boss moves.
our kids do chores for cash.
Yeah.
And so that now they're actually buying their own toys. Like we don't buy them toys; they have to use their own money. And so, Paige worked for like 3 weeks and bought this red dragon stuffed animal. She calls it Rufus. Anyway, she gave Rufus to Micah, and I was like, "No, you can't give that to Micah. Like you don't understand.
You worked for this.
You will not get that back.
Yeah.
Like it's not the same." So, anyway.
Where'd our host go?
Our host had to go pee.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah. No. What's our hashtag?
We already did.
Taint. Hashtag taint.
Wow.
Bam.
Down in the comments, let us know you reached it here at the end. Again, this will be a continuation. We've got 9 more to go through. So stick around for future episodes. The next one, though, you're going to want to be around for as well. We're going to do an Ask Men episode. They're very popular
Yes.
amongst the audience.
We haven't done it for a long, long time.
And this is what I meant by like there's going to be like a part 80 of this, because there's going to be at one point like a part 80 of Ask Men.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Where did that come from?
Remember,
Because earlier you guys gave me crap when I was like, there's going to be like 10 parts of this. And you're like, well, actually only 3.
Okay.
What I meant is we can continue on with this because there's so much to do.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, you're
Gosh.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a regular segment on the
deep
pod.
breath.
Am I the asshole or?
Yes, you are.
All right. Again, next episode will be parental advisory, just in case we come out dicks a-blazing, just like this episode. But
And remember,
No.
remember, math never lies, and definitions matter.
yeah, definitions matter, and you don't get a trophy for participating around here.
Boom.
Boom. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys here next time.
Love you guys.
Ciao.
Thanks for being part of this crowd.
Cam would say at Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
It's Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, that's what he says.
You say Auf Wiedersehen. Well,
Crystal clear, baby. I am hydrated.
You gotta
Arrivederci.
leave that part in.
Yeah.
That's what he says.